What's up, good people? I think we are live. We'll confirm here in just a moment. Give me just a second. Yep, looks like we are live. Oh, there's a ad playing on my side. All right, there we go. What's up, people? What up, what up, what up, what up? Welcome to the latest episode of the Sim Standard Podcast. Myself, SimFBallCritic, along with Smitty, and AzureEffect is here in spirit. And hopefully we have a great show for you guys tonight, man. We'll wait a few moments to allow a few people to get up in here. I know, let me share it out really quick so you guys know we are on. So some of you guys know we are back in action.
Yep.
All right, so it is shared. So what's up, good people? Welcome. We appreciate you guys checking in with us tonight, man. And you know, we got a couple good topics to hit. But first and foremost, Smitty, I guess, man, we'll start the way we always do. We'll talk about our week. Neither one of us have anything football related to really talk about.
All right.
But maybe we'll make our predictions, man, for the you know, what we think might be happening here this upcoming weekend in the championship games. But how was your week, man? And whatever else you want to address. I know you was battling the flu last week, man, and then I know quite a few people at my job that's coming down with it. So I hope everything's okay there.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, I'm good. I'm pretty much good now. You know, basically my wife been holding it down with obviously going to see the little one because I didn't want to. I basically isolated myself because I didn't want my daughter to be around me, and then in turn, you know, be around my wife, and then she goes to the hospital. She can't have that going on, and then be around our son.
Right.
So you know what I'm saying. So I just basically was isolated for a few days. I mean, I'm over it pretty much, but I still got like a little tiny little tail end sniffle here and there, you know, and of course, you know, like blowing my nose and stuff like that. So it's like while I have that going on, I still don't want to go up there. I personally don't want to go up there, even though my wife feels like I'm good. Yeah. I still feel that I should, you know, keep my distance for the moment, and you know, just getting reports back from her. So. That's pretty much all it's been. But yeah, I'm good now. Thanks for the well wishes from everybody. I appreciated that. But yeah, man. I mean, hey, I'm excited to get back into the groove of things here. And yo, I mean, as far as Lions are concerned, look, the only thing popping is that we just signed the offensive coordinator from the Seattle Seahawks. We just signed him. And then they were talking about in the news, I think it was yesterday, they were talking about like if we were to try and get Antonio Brown here, Kenny Galladay gonna sit up here and say that he's good. We're good at wide receiver. Yeah. No, we're not. We're not good at wide receiver. I don't know. I mean, I appreciate the confidence. You know what I'm saying? Like I appreciate his confidence. I do. And hey, I mean, don't get me wrong, Galladay is balling. But we need as much help as possible on our receiving core. There's no way we're making it through with who we have right now. So we definitely need as much help as possible as far as receiving threats are concerned. I mean, heck, we were going to get, even if we wrote it out and we kept Tate, we were not going to re-sign him in the offseason. So we would have been down a quality receiver as well. And I think Marvin Jones, his contract is up either this year or next. So we definitely need to re-up in the wide receiver area. Like we need to boost that up. And from what was being said about the offensive coordinator we signed, I don't remember my man's name offhand, but the way he ran the offense, they had more of a rushing attack. And from what they were saying on the radio and things like that, they're trying to basically get Stafford out of his own way. Instead of him being the gunslinging quarterback basically that he is, have a coordinator that's more about the run. So that way they're setting up the run a lot more than they are just pass heavy, which is what Stafford been doing a lot of passing. I mean, we really had no choice but to do it over the years because we didn't have a run game. But we do have a potential run game. So, well, I won't say potential. We do have a run game. It just needs to be more established and a lot better. So we'll see what happens. But like you said, Sim, there really ain't nothing else to truly talk about right now. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, we don't have nothing until basically the draft is when we basically got anything big going on for the Lions, which I think is like 100 days away technically or something like that. But
yeah,
so it'll be a minute. I mean, you know, we got the combines and the pro days and all that stuff, but that'll be, you know, for some people, that's their Super Bowl, is seeing what goes on with that. You know, so we'll see what happens, man. We'll see what happens, but ain't got nothing else going on with Detroit at this point, man. I'll throw it to you.
Yeah, man. We ain't making no noise over in Pittsburgh. I mean, we're making plenty of it, but nothing that I care to talk about, man. I don't know, man. You know, with the Antonio Brown stuff, man, I just feel like, you know, I try not to judge people. Y'all know I don't do that. You know, I let people be who they are. And, you know, men are men, and you make their decisions however they want to do it. But I just think he's acting very, very, very immature. I think he's kind of leaving no option, you know, for the Steelers organization. It's almost like, you know, you're pretty much going to have to let him go at this point, because how do you repair the locker room? You know? Because people always, you know, want to blame coaching for this and coaching for that, but how would you expect the head man and anybody else there to deal with the players if, you know, Antonio Brown is able to come back into the organization after all of these shenanigans? So, I don't know, man. You know, I wish the guy the best. You know, it is what it is. And we'll see what happens from there. I don't really have much more to talk about in terms of Steeler news, so I won't bore you guys with that. But anyway, man, who you think will win these games this weekend, Smitty? We'll go into that really quick, man, and then we'll come back and jump on our topics. But who you got winning these championship games this week?
I really, you know what? Who I think at least for this weekend, oh man, I really don't, man. Because it's gonna be interesting. Oh boy, I think it'll be a tight one, but I think the Pats are gonna come out with it. Against the Chiefs, but I think it's gonna be tight. Hold on, sweetie. Hold on. Shh. Hold on, sweetie. Hold on a second. But as far as the Saints are concerned, hey Haley, wait a second, sweetie. Okay, hold on. I think that when it comes to the Rams and the Saints, though. See, it's a toss-up. It's a toss-up with that game, but I think that it's gonna go to. I'm gonna say the Saints, and I really don't have like a main reason to really say that they're gonna get it and they're gonna win over, like, and this is exactly why I really can't say. I really can't say that. Like, I really can't. Because, you know, and I mean, don't get me wrong. What I would really like to see is a rematch of Rams and Chiefs from what they had. Because that shootout they had earlier in the year, that was bananas.
Yeah, it was. It really
that was like the best game of the year, I think, in my opinion. Like, by far. So, while that would be awesome to see, I just that championship and tested moxie of the Pats, man. I don't think they're just gonna overrun them or anything like that. I think it's gonna be a much tighter game, and then like they're gonna battle it out, man. I think it's gonna be a balanced game, but I just see the Pats are gonna eke that one out. And as far as Rams and Saints are concerned, yeah, like I said, Saints, but I think both games are gonna be tight. Like that's where I'm sitting at with both, because I don't think anybody's just gonna get ran over and then that's it. I mean, it would surprise me to see that. Well, the only one that wouldn't surprise me if the Patriots just all of a sudden just balled out of control and beat the Chiefs and just like beat them into submission. I that would be one thing, but I don't think that'll happen.
Right.
I think it's gonna just be a tight battle, and I know they're trying to play this underdog card, like, oh yeah, people saying we suck and all that. Look, no, okay. Before the playoffs, yeah, people were saying that because of how the team was performing. But when it came to that playoff push, and then now where they at, no. That those are them boys. So it ain't gonna be, it's gonna be interesting. Even though it's in Kansas City, it's still gonna be a very interesting game. So that's pretty much my take. So Saints and the Pats, but it's gonna be a tight one.
Yeah, I would like to see Saints Chiefs, man. I want to see somebody new out and doing it. Not only that, to be honest, I really don't have a dog, in the fight, but I like to see Andy Reid, get a ring. I think Andy Reid has been a phenomenal coach for the most part, man. The guy has been innovative. He's just been a good coach, since he's been around. And I just think that if my team is not going to be there, why not? Why not Andy Reid? So, but I think it's going to be the Chiefs and the Saints. However, like you said, man, New England Patriots, you can never count those guys out. Never that championship moxie, like you said, man. It is Tom Brady. It is still Bill Belichick. The only thing I think that will hurt them is they're on the road. They haven't been good on the road all year. So we'll see. But yeah, if I make my pick right now, I would like to see the Chiefs do it. Just my thoughts. So there you have it. Don't have much more on that. Anyway, guys, let's jump into what we came here to talk about tonight, man. We got some very, very good topics here. And I'm also sitting here trying to play my final league game here. We're still holding on for dear life, trying to find some enjoyment in Madden. I had a very, very sucky season. I'm not afraid to tell you guys I'm currently 7-8. Some games I couldn't play, because of obligations elsewhere. I had to sim the games, quarter loss or two there. But, I haven't been good this season. And the game itself just doesn't, allow me to play how I want to play. Let's just be real. But no excuse, we still have a decent time, playing with each other. Things like that. But whatever. So I'm trying to do that as well as conduct the show, so you guys bear with us. But what we want to talk about, man, is Madden NFL Features, both old and new. And I think I'm going to throw it to Smitty and let him kick that off, and then I'll give my my response. But then the second thing we're going to talk about tonight is a new licensing deal, guys, between 2K and NBA. The NBA and NBA 2K has a new deal, and it's upwards of $1 billion. And we will discuss what we think that means for NBA Live and any other basketball game that, had dreams of getting back into the arena. So those are basically the things that we'll discuss tonight. However the show lasts, if it goes till 10, great. If it doesn't, then y'all know the routine. We'll cut it short there, and we'll see you next week. But Smitty, let's get into this Madden topic, man, because this is quite a bugaboo of ours. And I'll preface it by saying this, and then I'll throw it to Smitty. You know, this basically stems, guys, from a difference in opinion between us and, you know, another game changer, if you will. And just to show you guys how everybody's not always on the same accord, which makes things kind of difficult. But without further ado, go ahead, Smitty, man. Let's kick this topic off, man, because I think this will be a good one.
Yeah, all right. So, like, just to you know, shed some light on the conversation, and I'm just going to the tweet. I meant to pull it up here. Just going to the tweet here real quick. Now, this is from, you know, Mills, okay? Or those that may not, Millennium OS or whatever, you know, however you associate him with, you know, like name-wise or whatever. Now, the thing is that, okay, he made a point about what? No, you can't have that right now. It needs to charge, okay? It doesn't work right now. And I'm sorry, I'm playing daddy duty right now, so mommy's not here, so I'm gonna get that interference. That's gonna happen.
So
but,
good.
You know what I'm saying? But the thing is that now what he said specifically, just so that y'all know, he said this yesterday. He said, "I'm gonna say this from my experience with sports games. If you're looking for features of a game from previous console generations, your best bet is to move and attempt to enjoy what's here. Games in general are looking to move forward, not pick up old features." Okay? Now, when I had looked at it, and I'm like, let me go ahead and comment on it. So I quoted the tweet, and I said when prior gen sports games have features and mode depth that have never been surpassed yet, the window is wide open for those past assets to be requested for by the people. We deserve the best, not just what's recently offered, especially if the past features are currently better. So then he basically said in response to what I had said was, he said that that's your definition of best, not what may or may not be best for the game. There needs to be a bigger picture. So
this is a franchise guy, I might add.
Yeah.
Just want to put that out there.
And this is not dissing or nothing like that. This was put out publicly. So this was just dialogue here that we was having. So my thing is that from that, now what I said was, so in response to that was, so would the franchise mode from PS2/Xbox Madden 05 or through 08 isn't the best? Where in the current history of Madden do they have a better franchise mode since 2013 when Gen 4 started? Now, clearly, I didn't get an answer back to that. You see what I'm saying? So that's the point. You see what I mean? And then you had somebody up here, he may be in the chat, I don't know if he is, but MDFL Gaming, he put up a tweet saying, "Do you feel the things I've spoken to specifically regarding coaching staffs, contract options, player designations, Pro Bowl are a large undertaking for EA to tackle in 13 years? Are my expectations unrealistic, Mills?" Now, he was asking Mills that question. Now, and I just chimed in response and said, not at all. Those elements are all legit. Over the years, EA could have done these things. Just look at what 2K has done over time. Kept on building up. Didn't just stop and make minuscule changes for whatever reason. That's why Madden will stay lacking. So the thing is that, see, when we have points and we put up points online and we have those discussions and things like that. See, while Mills said, people making agendas based off of what I put, let me clarify something too, because I just want to make this crystal clear. Me, Sim, Azura, we have been labeled so many things over the course of our tenure doing this YouTube, Twitter, all this stuff all over the years. People called us sellouts. They called us 2K fanboys. They called everything. And it's all because of what we put out there publicly. So when you put up, I don't care if it's a tweet, I don't care if it's a YouTube video, I don't care if it's something you say in your stream. If you broadcast it for public consumption, you open it up for people to have dialogue off of something you say. So it's nothing to be in shock or awe, like, oh my gosh, I can't believe all I did was post a point and people are commenting off of it and doing this and doing that. It's like, no, you put it out there. People made videos based off of things that I've said in the past and tweets that I've put out there in the past. So what? I put it out publicly, so it's subjected to, if somebody feels like it, they could go ahead and make a video. So be it. Or post or have a Twitter discussion or talk on Periscope about it. It's whatever. But back to the case in point here is this. When we're talking about these franchise facets in the game, which I gotta go to my brother, my good brother VF here. This is the point he said in response, basically not to Mills, but I was talking with him, and he said, so holdouts, training camps, immersive talk radio shows, weekly prep, complete draft scouting, hot, cold players, player tendencies that affect gameplay, penalties, in-game injuries, whether that affect gameplay, sideline crowd interactions are old and we need to move on. He's saying that in sarcasm, but the point is that what he was referring to from what we were talking about, we were all talking about playing like in Madden back on Gen 2. A lot of these things were in the game. A lot of these things were in the game.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
That's right.
Like Madden 06, Madden 05, 07, 08. That's why I referenced that block right there. This was on PS2. And it completely beats, smashes what we have today. And VF was basically saying, so we should just shut all that down and just take what they give, and that's it. Just take it. And just keep going forward. And that's why I'm like, no, I'm sorry. You know what I mean? And this is why I use the point as a discussion point. We're not saying y'all gotta. We're not saying EA carbon copy these things. But let me say that all that stuff I just read off, Madden, I have yet to see. Hold on a second. Sorry, I had to tell my daughter something real quick. But all these things that VF mentioned, all those things that I just read off, did the NFL all of a sudden stop with all of that? Did holdouts stop? The training camps just don't exist no more? What about talk radio shows? I guess all those stopped. That all ended. What about in-game injuries and whether that can impact gameplay and players going on hot and cold streaks and weekly preparation? Did all that stuff just cease and desist in the NFL? No, it's all in there today. It's there now. Now, whether it's Mills or people that have the mind frame like a Mills, because Mills ain't the only person that will reply like that. There are other people that are of that mind frame, and that's fine. But the question that I have for you is, all those things that I named off that VF mentioned, have they all ceased to exist when it comes to the NFL? Because they were in Madden in the past. So if they all cease to exist, I want to know what NFL network you're watching.
Right.
I want to know what ESPN you're watching. Because we're clearly not watching the same thing. We're clearly not paying attention to the same sport. Because the sport I watch has all these things. When we question players making some decisions at times and say, why would he want to go? Let's say Antonio Brown did come to Detroit. People be like, why would he go to Detroit? That kind of stuff actually was in Madden. You know why? Because you couldn't just bid and say, oh, I'll bid you so-and-so's going to come here. That's not how it all works. You can win Super Bowls and dudes' ambitions will change and they will literally leave. You see what I'm saying? Like, they want to go just because. Well, not just because, but for whatever reason. You know, like, they had variables. Was it your location? Was it, it could be a player that you drafted, developed, and built up, and he doesn't necessarily like the conditions that he's in, the weather. Or maybe the playing time he's getting ain't enough for him. And because of that, he wants to go somewhere else where he could be a star. EA built that system out on PS2 and Xbox. They built it out there where you can literally sign a veteran and he'll have a badge on him where he's basically a mentor. And he can mentor that young draft pick that you bring on to help his skills develop a little bit quicker. They had that in their game, man. They had it where players retired came back as offense or defensive coordinators or try to be head coaches. And you couldn't just say, I'm going to sign him to X amount of dollars just because. They had ambitions. They had desires and all that stuff as to why they want to do things. PS2 and Xbox. That's where it's at. Why is it not here, though? You see what I'm saying? Okay. All right. And see, people keep coming with this. This rhetoric really cracks me up. Why people keep coming with, well, if you can't find a way for it to be profitable, there's no reason to innovate. Nah, I ain't hearing that garbage. 2K is a clear indicator of the polar opposite. And now these dudes signed a ridiculous $1.1 billion deal. Them boys ain't signed that deal because the NBA. I mean, well, I'm not going to act like I know for a fact. I don't. But it wouldn't surprise me if 2K came to the table, and I know we're going to talk about that later, but I'm just saying this right now. It wouldn't surprise me if 2K came to the table in the NBA and was like, you know what? We'll take $500 million. $500 million over 4 years or something like that. They and 2K came back and said, nah, we want to stretch the game and X some names out and put our name on top. We're going to push that thing out to 1.1 billion and set that thing to 7. So that way, if EA or anybody else want to get involved or whatever, they got a high bar to follow, even though the licensing is open. So you going to have a hill to climb. You're going to be ice skating uphill to get with us. Come on, man. That's what ends up happening when you deliver a fire product across the whole board. And I know people get upset with 2K and all that stuff, but we cannot deny that those guys do deliver a good game. Like, at least it's a legit basketball game. You lying to yourself to say otherwise. Okay? But Madden, like I said, we talking about yesteryear features. Done, past it. You ain't gonna see me talking about MLB The Show 05 or 06 on PS2 and saying, man, these gameplay mechanics are better than what we got today. Man, these modes, these controls, these options, the AI and all that stuff. You're not gonna see us talking about that today because what's out there, you ain't gonna see us say it's better than MLB The Show 18. Or man, I doubt the show 19 is gonna be able to do anything they did against PS2. No. You ain't gonna see us talking about NBA 2K5 and comparing that to 2K20 like, man, maybe when it comes to their gameplay, come on, dog. Man, association mode, I'm telling you, no, my league obliterates it. Heck, we didn't even talk about my GM. My GM, that's another facet. That's another mode in their game too that deals with dealing with a franchise.
Pretty much.
Two modes, two distinct modes in one package. And we talking about if we just want the needle to move for Madden and CFM, oh, it's got to be monetized. Man, that's hot BS. I don't want to hear none of that garbage about how it's got to be monetized. Quit coddling Madden. Stop. Quit coddling it and acting like, oh, they got to protect it. So the only way they can do, no. And I watch videos of people that talk about these big name companies, AAA and all that stuff. I just watched like a 19-minute video talking about the demise of EA Sports Big and NBA Street and all that stuff. The main reason why I fell off is because of the exact same reason where we're sitting at with Madden right now. It got 100% all about business, and they forgot about what got them there. It forgot about the creativity of the game. It forgot about making the game good. My man literally pointed it out. NFL Street. They dropped NFL Street, 2 editions of NFL Street in the same year. January and December. You had NFL Street, I think they said NFL Street 1 and 2 came out the same calendar year. Same calendar year because they're trying to churn them out. They're trying to churn the game out. Yeah. They trying to churn them boys out. It wasn't about making a quality title no more. It's just, let's churn them things out. Come on. Let's churn it out. No. That's why these games fall by. What happened to EA Sports Big, man? They need to. That's why. You got to let these people be creative. You got to get back to that. That's the problem with electronic dang on arts right now. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, I know people looking at the Star Wars thing and saying, oh, that's not a good look. It's not a good look. But at the same time, that's not the only Star Wars game that saw cancellation under other brands. So it's not, I'm not going to put all the onus on EA for that, because there have been other games during the 2000s that were canceled and all that stuff that were done by other companies too. So I'm not going to be like, oh, see, here go EA. Like, no. It wasn't. They're not the only guilty party with all that kind of stuff. Excuse me. But when it comes to this, Madden, innovation, what's the point of creative directors and lead devs and artists? What is Brian Murray doing there?
Oh, man. Shout out to Brian if he hears this.
Yeah.
My
Shout
guy.
out to him, man. What's the point? What's the point if you're not going to let these people create? Yeah, I love the creative work you did over here, but we brought you in here now. Now you just sit in the corner over there, and we'll call on you when we're ready. That's how it looks. Because NFL 2K5 has a better presentation package than what we got right now in Madden. You hired this guy a few years ago. He's been there so what Madden 15 or 16?
He's been there
for a minute. So we should have a much better overall, like, let the man let the man work. Clint, former NFL lineman and all that jazz, right? Let the man work. 300 plus trench animations. Where? I keep saying, I know I said that, it sounds like a broken record with it, but where? Well, marketing don't think that. Skip that. If marketing got to tell you what features need to be in a game, they don't need to be working there. You're paid to market a game. I don't care what I don't care what the devs do. The devs say they put whatever gameplay facets in, whatever mode stuff in, You figure it out. You don't tell them how to do it. Well, we got to be able to market it. Well, y'all better figure it out. You don't tell these cats, well, we can't put this in the game because we got to be able to market it. No, that's bullcrap. And what I'm saying is not some internal secret. This is something that was talked about at PAX East, like, what, I would say, like, how many years? Like 6-7 years ago. Clint was on the panel. They did an interview talking about this stuff, and they had a public panel about this. And he said that, like, when it came to War in the Trenches, he said that they had to figure out a way to market that.
Yep.
In order for them to put it into the game, they have to work with marketing and make it so that it can be something truly marketed. Otherwise, it can't be put in the game. That is 110% bullcrap. If you're marketing, you went to school for it, you got the job for it, figure it out. Not the other way around. They're the designers and the engineers. Excuse me. They're the designers and the engineers. And the directors and the programmers and all that jazz or whatever. Let them do the work that they need to do to make the game tight. That's all they need to worry about. They don't need to worry about this other extracurricular bullcrap. You know, oh, well, we got to make sure that it's marketable. Man, get the heck out of here. It's football. 2K ain't market nan double team blocking. They had that in 2004. Madden, oh, War in the Trenches, we got to market double team pass blocking and passing off block assignments. Man, you don't get the heck out of here with that. And that's what I'm talking about. It's football. Put it in there. You know what I'm saying? Seriously, like I'm sorry, that's some bullcrap, man. And see, this is why when you can look at YouTube videos, the information is freaking out here, and people are talking about how these AAA companies are not doing things the way that they should be doing. But then when I see tweets like Mills, like what he says, you go back and read that kind of stuff now, after you watch some of these videos on how these cats be clowning. I'm telling you, it's going to be a whole different thing. And I'll say this specifically about Mill. I'm not worried about what feedback you give behind closed doors. It's what you're saying in the forefront that I'm talking about. You're putting out a message of basically take it. The past is a past, take what's in front of you. And just learn to live with it. What you say privately in terms of feedback and all that stuff, that's all fine and dandy. That's like me sitting up here and acting like I'm some kind of closet 2K gamer or something like that. Man, F2K, man, I hate that. If that's all I spew out in YouTube videos and on Twitter, when I stream, and y'all like, dang, this dude really hates 2K. He really got a thing against them. But then when I'm sending private feedback, hey man, y'all game is awesome. If you guys could just do these few things here to make the game better, it would be tight. I'm telling you. No, I'm not gonna do that. You can't do that. And don't get me wrong, I'm not sitting up here and saying this is feedback Mills is sending or whatever. I don't know. Whatever he says is whatever he says. And at the end of the day, the end goal should be we're all trying to get the best game possible, or we're giving feedback toward that goal, okay? But I'm just saying, the energy you put out publicly is the energy you get. Don't be shocked when you get that energy back and it's like, oh my gosh, I can't believe people are acting like this. No, it's because of the energy that you give. It's because of what you're putting out there. You're putting out a perception that when people see this, they're going to take what you're saying. You're like, are you freaking kidding me? And also remember, you put the sentiment out there talking to people about old school features and stuff like that. When people are making valid points, if something is, think about this for a minute. This may blow a mind or two, I don't know. But just think about this for a minute. If you have a feature or a facet or a mode or a functionality that was made in the past and still hasn't been surpassed as of yet. Isn't that still current?
Pretty much.
Think about that. Think about it. If I set a world record for stacking up cards in 1995, and nobody has ever beat my record as of yet to this date, what do you think they're going to have hanging up in the banners and the rafters? Dang, that record's still there in 2019? Dang, that was back in 95. Nobody beat that yet? It's a current record. Current. Just like when you see track and field, they post the world record up there for a reason, because that's the current record. It doesn't matter if that record was set a year ago or 100 years ago. That's the current record that has yet to be beaten. So we're talking about features that are old by date. But these features and modes and gameplay facets are not old by way of functionality and functional innovation. Okay? They're still current. Madden does not have better pass controls yet in comparison to what they had in Madden 06 with the QB vision. Facts. And if I'm lying, fire it up. Anyone. I'm not talking about just Mills. I'm talking just period. If anybody thinks I'm bugging, fine. You got my man Master Gamer. This is another off point or what have you, but this is a point. I'm having a discussion with 2K Football Now and a few other cats. Master Gamer chimes in, and he said he was talking along the lines of, we were talking about APF, and we're talking about the stick skill and how animations are separate between offense and defense. And he was like, he chimed in as if he knew what he was talking about. He never played it. And he said he never played it. And he said he never wanted to play it. So see, when you try to chime in on something like that and you really don't know what you're talking about, you see what I mean? You don't help anything. It's as if you're talking about an experience you never had before. You see what I'm saying? And the unfortunate thing is, I make that point there to make this point about Madden. There are people that never played Madden 06. There are people that never played Madden 05. You see what I mean? They probably wouldn't dare to. Just like, why would I want to get a PS2 when you got Xbox Ones and all that stuff and gaming rigs, PCs and such that have all this fidelity? Why would I want to go back and play that? Understandably so. But for those that do decide to go back or grew up playing those games, when you experience those great things, modes, gameplay facets, etc., when you get to experience it firsthand, then you're going to be like how me and Sim and Azure and people in this chat here and things like that. That's how we're going to be. We have that in our back pocket because we're like, we've seen a great franchise mode before by EA. Why can't y'all do that? Why won't y'all do that? Or better yet, why aren't executives or whomever it is that's blocking, why are y'all blocking them from doing it? I'm pretty sure John White is a very sharp dude. Why not Josh Lumen? These dudes, they did NFL head coach. with all that functionality they had programmed into that. You're telling me these dudes can't make a franchise mode that would blow it all the way out the frame? Come on, man. They would smash it. They could put the game on Smash if EA would allow them and enable them to do it. But when you don't allow these cats to do the work, I'm sorry. This is what you're going to get. You're going to get a game where leagues are stopping, and people are like Sim, Azure, they just going through the motions. They try to add camaraderie to the game. Oh, we going to do this Facebook thing. We going to post these pictures, and we going to get trophies, and and I give mad props to the NBL. Them cats created. Okay?
Can you imagine what they could do with a robust franchise mode?
That's what I'm saying.
Wow.
That's what I'm saying. That's the point. We're not saying leave it alone, and that people shouldn't have to imagine and try and forcefully create to just keep themselves in, try to force themselves into a moment. It should just naturally be there because EA created it, and now we can just swan dive into it. That's what we should have. That's the kind of game that we should have. Look at SpiderMan, okay? Look at SpiderMan. That's a perfect example right there. They could have easily, it's SpiderMan swinging around the city. That ain't nothing new, but they made it robust. They took it and they built it out. They gave you something. They gave something to give you that immersion feeling, to give you that immersive feel, that robust. Like, we're going to give you a Gen 4 Spider-Man. And that's what they gave us. We're going to give you a story and all that stuff. All we're saying is creative. We know that the dev cycle's not the same as Spider-Man and Red Dead and GTA and The Order and all that. We know that. But we're saying, though, give us that robust experience. Show us that this stuff is being built out thoroughly. The vision ain't there. Just like I said to you before, Sim, when we see Ramon Russell get on the mic and talk about the upcoming MLB The Show, when they showcase certain features in the game, they straight up say, oh, this isn't flushed all the way out yet, but this is year one of a multi-year process. Don't worry. This is what we got so far, but we're going to have a lot more in the future. We don't hear that with Madden. Oh, franchise mode, this year, as far as free agency and contracts and this, that, and the third, this is what we got. But there's a lot more coming in the next few years with these installments. So we got you. And the thing is, we can't take it with confidence because of how the game comes out. And that's sad. I could look at 2K. Look, I feel confident right now that I'll be able to bust out Madden 06 and it'll still have better gameplay features and mode depth than Madden 20 and Madden 21 at least. Now that's how I feel personally right now. Do I want to be shown up otherwise? Yes, I do. Make me eat crow. I would love to. Come on. I'm waiting. But at this present time, just like with NBA Live, Madden is guilty till proven innocent. Look at what 2K just did with the move. That's why they ain't messing with football. Look what they doing with the NBA. Yeah, if you're making power moves like that, why would I mess with football for? Why put the money in and put myself in this spot where I'm gonna lose when I'm straight up I'm killing it. I'm straight up. I just got nothing but W's over here with the NBA. I'm good. And set the bar out there on purpose. Like, come on, man. They shut the game down without any exclusivity. They just shut it down. When you build, listen, we could talk about the microtransactioning and all the stuff that's in their game, but at the end of the day, they still are delivering the game. They gave us the game that we should have, and they're giving us the gameplay, and because they gave us the gameplay and the modes and everything, we can't sit here and say they ain't putting in the work. Yep. Y'all heard the Mike Wang interview. Y'all saw that. You know, if you did see that or whatever when he talked. Doing mocap once a week, every month of the year. Them cats is rolling. They rolling. Of course I feel confident in terms of whatever it is they do. I can only imagine, what are these guys going to do in the next installment? Off of what they already did. Just when you think they can't do enough. Nope, they do even freaking more. All the stuff they did in 2K with my league and carrying on. That stuff blows my mind. And we sitting up here acting like, well, if EA wants to move just a muscle, we gotta monetize it. Man, you know, get the heck out of it. Get away from me with that. Nah. MLB The Show, NHL, your own house. Your own freaking wheelhouse. 16-minute video on scouting update. Get the heck out of here. You know, we talked about it back then, but still. And we up here talking about Madden and just a little bit that we want to see happen. Come on, man. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I can't buy that whole notion. So yes, when people say stuff about you living in the past and that's yesteryear and well, we got to look at now. No. We know that the devs are trying. You've heard us talk about all that from when we first went to the studio back in 2012, and we came back saying, man, look, these devs are legit. These devs want the game that we want. We've been echoing that sentiment the whole time. I mean, the whole time we've been talking. Y'all hear us every time. Man, we interact with the devs. We talk to the devs. We have all the trust in the world in the devs. But they have bosses. They have executives. There are people over them that are making decisions that are impacting this title.
Yep.
And all they could do at the end of the day is their job, because they got to pay. They have bills to pay. They got families to take care of, etc., etc. So they have no choice. You know what I'm saying? Essentially, they gotta follow through, and then they just do the best job that they can. Y'all heard, if you remember, you heard Rex when he would do streams in his own house, and he would do these streams and he'd be talking about all kinds of hardships that he had to deal with. And this is a dude that was creative director over the whole franchise. He had executives tell him, "Oh, just put another old OBJ catch in there. That's all you need to do." And he's like, "What the heck you talking about? I'm trying to make football here. What do you mean?" And that's the kind of stuff that he has to push against. Now he's working on cell phone games in Colorado. See what I'm saying? And that's a very smart, very talented brother that he told us some ideas that he wanted to do with the game. My man A-Dub, he is a heavily underutilized asset over there at EA. The stuff that he's doing, and I mean, don't get me wrong, the stuff that he's doing for the game is sound, but he should be able to do so much more. And like I've said before in the past, this man, I would love to see him be like Czar. Just stream. Fire up Madden and stream with confidence. This is what we did. This is what we got on offense. This is what we did on defense. When it comes to cover 3, this is how they cover their zones. This is how they do this. This is how they do that. In this scenario, this is what they'll try to do. Of course, ratings are going to play a role, blah, 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 all that. And we don't have that. He doesn't do that. He'll get on the whiteboard and tell us, but what about the actual game, though? You know what I'm saying? He's got what he feels should happen with the game, and then there's what actually ends up happening. You see what I'm saying? And that's that right there is an echo sentiment of what the problem is that these guys, these men and women that are working on this game are being held back. They're being held back, or they're being stopped. They're not able to truly deliver us the game that we should truly have at this point. And that right there is a complete and total travesty that we don't have that as of yet. You know what I'm saying? And that's it. And I mean, look, I'll say this and I'll throw it to Sim because I know I've been going here. But the thing is that 2K, while 2K has, look, 2K has strongholds. 2K has points that they can't cross, and there are things that they get stopped when they try to innovate on or whatever too. They got, you know what I mean? They get stopped too. But at the same time, they're able to do a heck of a lot more. They're given a heck of a lot more freedom in comparison to what EA is allowing these guys to do. And I mean, like I said, I don't have to spend a single day. I don't have to be in the studio. All I need to do is see the product. And the product tells me all that I need to know. That tells me it screams stronghold. It screams limited development. It screams limitations to innovating the title. it just eeks of it. I mean, it's oozing out the box. Just not letting these people do the work that they should do. Me and Sid, we met John. We've met John and we've spoken to and broke bread and all that good stuff. And we're still sitting in the spot that we're sitting in at this point, and it's wrong. From a consumer standpoint, it is completely 110% wrong. We should have a game that's way, way better than what we got at this point. Madden should be up there, if not up there, better than what 2K is. It should be right there. There's no reason why Madden shouldn't be selling 10+ million copies a year. It makes no sense. 2K went from being outsold by Madden to matching Madden and surpassing Madden and obliterating Madden in overall sales. You see what I'm saying? Well, I'm not saying overall sales in terms of its entirety as a franchise, but at least they're being beat as far as yearly at this point. They are getting their tail whipped, and that once again lets you know it's not just microtransactions as to why that is. These guys are making a legitimate title that people are like, hey yo, this NBA 2K is valid. This NBA 2K is blah 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 blah. And the product is speaking. The product is showing us. Okay? So I want to see Madden do better, but once again, that's on the company in order to do that. And understand, even though the point that my man Shotmaster was making about franchising, not many people playing it, or you got a lot of casuals that don't really give a care and buy the game too. You also have a lot of casuals that are also paying attention and getting more hip to what's happening business-wise with these games, man. Back then, paying attention to the business side it was more of an anomaly. Now, that's getting to be a lot more commonplace. And people are going to be looking and seeing like, why aren't people messing with Madden like that? They took what kind of hit with their shares? Well, why is that? People will take a look at that kind of stuff and they'll see what the deal is. And then that will turn people off. And they won't want to mess with you because of that. It can happen. It can very much it can very much so happen. So EA got to turn that thing around. And it's not like it's too late or something like that. They could turn it around and get the stuff right. They got to quit playing around, man. That's just where I'm at, man. So I'll throw it to you, Sim. You can say whatever it is you got to say, man. I'll give it to you, brother.
Man, it's funny, man, because I don't have much more to add, and that's why I let Smitty just go, man, because I know that topic really bothered him, and it did me as well. And I'll say a little bit, and I know Nathan wants to come on. Smitty will add you to the call, as well as Brett Lee wants to come on, so we'll add you as well, and get that knocked out here in just a moment. But listen, y'all know me and Smitty gonna shoot it from the hip every time. We gonna keep it real. And sometimes our opinion ain't popular to everybody. Sometimes people get offended. Whatever. I don't care. And this is not a direct shot at Mills or anything like that, because we've all been cordial. I don't have any personal issues with him, but I'm sorry, man. When I saw that tweet, like, it hits a little deeper, and Smitty knows what I'm talking about, because again, guys, we have conversations offline, amongst ourselves and other game changers, and there's a group where we all talk, and a lot of times it's the same back and forth where people seem to have a different opinion, which is fine. But to me, some things are definitives. Some things are facts, okay? Fact number one. Well, I'm not even going to label them because I'm just going to say it. Franchise mode is nowhere near as deep as it once was. That is a fact. That is not my opinion. That is a fact. It is not as deep as it once was on Gen 2. And if you don't really understand the generation numbers, Gen 2 is PS2 and Xbox. Okay? Madden 05, Madden 06. Around that time. Tony Bruno show. Okay? The front loading, back loading contracts. All of that type of stuff. You know, injuries being a significant, really significant. And like Smitty said, you know, guys deciding that they want to leave, and, you know, being able to bring guys back and have them on your staff or be coaches, or all of that type of stuff. For you, you know, simulation nerds out there that play Head Coach 09, that is a fact that franchise mode is not even close to the depth that was in Head Coach 09. Here's another fact. NBA 2K, my league, is, come on, there it is right there. And they have a lot of the same facets that EA once had in their game that we would love to see right now. We would love to have, you know, wear and tear on the body. I mean, these are just minor things. So I'm sorry, man. To me, and listen, y'all, I give people the benefit of the doubt. Maybe it was just a generic statement, but it hit me and Smitty a little harder because, again, we've had these conversations behind closed doors where we have been told, y'all gonna laugh at this one. Smitty and I have been told by other cats in the program, oh, guys, we just gotta wait and see. Y'all telling us that? And listen, I'm not trying to say that, you know, we know better than anybody else, but we've been down for years. You ain't gonna telling me that. You ain't telling Shop that. Shop is beyond a veteran. He was there before us.
Yeah.
The mad scientists of the world, you know, Doc Digital, some of you guys may know him by that name. You ain't telling these guys, the Sean Masons of the world, Ronnies of the world, the Bobbies of the world. You're not telling people like that, like us. Oh, well, we just gotta wait. No, bro. Come on with that. No, we not playing. And again, I'm not saying that he or anybody else that feels this way is doing this, but we not playing that political game. I ain't doing that. That's not who I am. That's not who I was when I became a game changer, and I refuse for my integrity to change just because I'm a game changer. That ain't happening. In the minute, again, I keep telling y'all this because, listen, I see what's happening, and I see the direction things are going in, and I'm just one of those people that's blessed enough to see things in the future and say, yeah, I'm going to be prepared for that. So when y'all hear me talk the way I talk, when I say, hey, who knows, maybe our services won't be needed in the future, I'm just saying I'm going to be prepared for that because it could very well be going in a different direction from what Smitty and I believed in when we got on board, and Azure, when we all got on board. You know, the Justin Duels of the world was in there, and Rex. These were the guys who brought us in, and we all had the same belief. Those guys are no longer there, and this is not a shot at anybody. It definitely is not. I'm not talking about Dev Team. I'm not talking about Clinton and those guys. I'm just talking about higher powers. You know, things could really be changing. That's why I'm curious to see what the deal is with Madden 20, because that's going to tell me a lot because of how long we've been there. That's going to tell us a lot, seeing that your creative director has changed twice now. We're going to see. Mm-hmm. But we don't play them political games. Like, oh, well, we got to... No, we don't. I've been told this same story over and over and over and over. And it's, listen... It's weighing thin, man. I just can't do it no more. To me, I feel like what's the point? And here's the most frustrating thing. I'll say this and then we'll bring our callers on. The most frustrating thing about it, some of y'all might laugh when I say this, but it's the God honest truth, in my opinion. This game ain't that far away.
Nope.
It ain't that far away. I understand. I see some people saying it don't feel like football, but y'all have different reasons. Like, shout outs to Luke. You know, Luke wants real presentation and all that. And I get it. We do too. And that's what he means when he says it just doesn't have the feel, the environment, the presentation, the commentary. And I agree with him 100%. We need all of that as well. But if we just talking about on the field, man, if Madden could just change the way players interact one-to-one and get rid of the warping and guys, you know, jump like NYKia likes to say, jumping out of their boots just to play out an animation or just to jump in front of you and get an interception, and it get rid of all of that stuff, we playing with a whole different ball game. Allow weight and momentum to matter a little bit more. It's particularly in the trenches. Let them animations play out. Give us a little more control with the passing. Because I'm telling you, for you guys who have tried the Nectar mod or any other mod on PC, you see some of that stuff. You see what the game could be. And again, the mods are not perfect, but with them tinkering with weight and stuff like that, you can see what the game could be. It ain't that far away, and that's what pisses me off, man. On the field, it ain't as far away as we all think. If you really think about all of your complaints, like my man Brooklyn Bully just says, I want better control of players. That's an easy fix in my opinion. That's not groundbreaking. And RPM was supposed to be that.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying? And that's why I say we ain't that far away, because they just got a few things to really fix. And of course, AI. Let's get some real diagnosing on the field. And we right there. That's what frustrates me the most, man. But yeah, Smitty, you ready for our caller, man? We could definitely get Nathan in first, and then we'll bring Brett on.
Yeah.
All right, so I don't know if you have him on the line already or not. If you do,
hey, what's
he's
up,
on.
guys?
Yeah, there he is.
Yeah, there you go.
Yep, we hear you.
What's up, man?
Much for having me on. I'm gonna just take a few minutes.
Yeah, take your time, man.
No, go ahead, bro.
All right, so you guys know, like, it's all love with us and Mills, because his place in the lexicon of sports gaming is solidified forever, right?
Absolutely.
He has a tremendous reputation, but I'm always so very hard on him when he gives us this talk about, oh, it's the big picture. And to me, that is boardroom talk.
Yeah.
You know, it all ties together. Like, you think about the way this game plays on the field and why we haven't gotten franchise mode enhanced. Oh, it's about the big picture. And this is why I tell people we have to recognize the fact that maybe, just maybe, not everybody is going to be on the same page all the time and speak with the same voice. Because what we want, it's not just that the features were old, that they were taken out, whatever the case may be. It's that they replicated the authentic NFL experience.
Yep.
They brought the league to life. Just imagine if this player badge system that they had in Madden 08 would have not just been kept in the game. Imagine if they would have built on that. Imagine if you had a cornerback who could just play in the slot, or who got a ratings boost in the slot, or a receiver who could excel in the slot, or a special teams player, a guy who just got attribute boosts on special teams. Imagine what that could do for team building. And, you know, maybe I'm old, but I can remember we could right-click on a player, like Smitty said, and he may not want to come to a cold weather climate or a losing team, or he may not want to play for your team's coach. We had assistant coaches 10 years ago, Smitty, offensive and defensive. Smitty, you were so good, like, in talking about all this, that I'm repeating a lot of what you said. But think about the way this game plays on the field too. It's predictable. It kind of feels like it's on a track. You got these animations sucking everybody in. All the teams, and there's not really a difference between players. So why is that? It's because when they sit down and they plug this thing into an esport environment, they want it to be predictable. They want it to be masterable. They want people to have finite outcomes
Right.
to practice for. And that's why there's no creativity in franchise mode or on the field. So if somebody says that they want the game to be about the big picture, to me what you're saying is you want the game to be built on the current climate, which is driving up profits for the EA boardroom. And that's okay. You know, maybe our way is the way of the past and we just have to accept defeat. But I'm not going to do it without lending my financial support and my backing to people who want a real simulation football experience on and off the field. So don't expect us to go quiet because we're not. And this game is so close. Just look at the small changes that Nectar made.
Oh, man.
They enhanced
Yeah.
Man.
So at the end of the day, like, I thought you guys were totally right on Twitter, and I just thought that I would lend my voice and back you up a little bit. I just think it's nonsense for a small group of people to speak as if they know what's best for this game in the big picture. It's not just that Madden took features out across moves to every single new generation of consoles. Madden currently is behind every other sports title in the realm of franchise mode, maybe except NBA Live. And more so than Madden, it's just football gaming, right? Because we only have the one modern game. Madden's just behind. Madden is the torchbearer for football gaming, and it's behind right now. And that needs to change.
And I'll say this. I was just looking on Twitter here. This is a premium, a list of highest earning premium games for 2018. FIFA is on it twice. 700. FIFA 18. PUBG is at 1 billion. Okay, that's number one. Second place is FIFA 18 with 790 million. Now you go down to 7.
FIFA 18.
FIFA 18. Now FIFA 19 at $482 million. See, look, this is my point once again, and I know licensing plays a role in this. I get it, but if your gameplay, you see what I'm saying? If you have some good gameplay, you look, some good, decent gameplay even. You can really move some mountains with some legitimate gameplay. Driving your stuff. FIFA sells 10 plus million copies every year. Every year. You're telling me that Madden can't do that and start getting higher numbers and all that stuff? You can do that too, but you're never going to see that. Look, Overwatch, a game that microtransaction wise, you can't even boost your players up. All you can do is buy accessories. That's it. There's no in-game boost. And that was the 10th highest at 429 mil. And just about Madden's nowhere to be found in this list, y'all. So just make that crystal clear. The only sport in here actually was FIFA. That's it. All the other games are either Call of Duty or GTA or something like that. So I'm saying that point. That's why I sit up here and talk about, if you make the game legit, if you give it the features, the facets, the modes, etc., people will play the different modes. They will want to play MUT. They won't mind putting money in on some packs. Walter Payton plays like Walter Payton. Art Monk plays like Art Monk. LT, whatever edition, plays like that. Plays like LT. Like he animates, moves, feels like LT. Barry Sanders feels, moves, plays like Barry. Randy Moss and Jerry Rice actually animate and play differently. 2K achieved that in APF. We don't.
That's
have
why
that
I
in
don't
Madden.
play MUT. Ironically, that's exactly why I don't play it.
Yes, let's say. Like,
if it was like that, I still probably ain't spending no money, but I would be balling out and grinding. I would love it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, and I'm not saying you got to put money in, but I'm saying people won't mind buying a pack here and there or something like that. Or let's say you got one of these programs that come out and they ain't spent no money, and then they say, "Oh, I'll go ahead and put a 20 spot on that," because of the way the game plays and the way players differentiate and feel. And because of that, you got people that are willing now. They'll be even more willing to. But see, when you don't want to do it, and you just want to kick, push, coast your way through, that's why your game sits where it sits. So, but I just want to inject that. I don't know if you had anything else you want to say, Nate.
Yeah, well, I mean, all that's right. At the end of the day, I don't think there are a lot of people out there that are asking Madden to do something that's unprecedented, do something that's totally unrealistic and out of the box. If anything, we're asking them to, A, compete with existing sports titles in franchise mode, and B, pay a little respect and tribute to the players who built the game in the first place. Because, quite frankly, it's the franchise guys who wanted the authentic NFL experience who made the game on the radar of the NFL so that they could capture that license in the first place. Before Ultimate Team even came on the map, I think there were a lot of teenagers putting nights into franchise mode, and they were building stadiums and building teams and making expansion teams and having a fun time. And you can't do that anymore. And, you know, at the end of the day, for me, I just love football. I'm passionate about football, and I want the game to capture that experience.
Yes.
And we make it my own. And it just doesn't do it. It falls short in so many areas. So, man, to me, the conversation has to start with the recognition that Madden is behind when it comes to franchise mode. And if people are unable to accept that, or if it's just blanket speak like, well, we know what's best for the game more than you, I just can't stand that. It's condescending for people to talk about the thousands of people who want this game to be the best it can be and have a better franchise mode, in the sense that we don't know what's best for the game. And so I'm just going to keep pounding Twitter trying to get franchise mode some love. That's all I've got.
Man, we definitely appreciate your call, man, and all of the support, man. We definitely want to give him a round of applause. I saw he threw a donation out there earlier.
Yes, appreciate that, man.
But yeah, man, it's like he said, you know, you have to hold people accountable, just like I feel like you guys do that with us. I'm never disappointed by that. I'm glad that you do it. And again, like I said, I'm not taking a shot. And, you know, hopefully, you know, there's nobody that's going to be in their feelings, but it is what it is. Like that does sound like corporate talk. And again, I'm not trying to toot a horn or anything like that, but me and Smitty been down since way before some of these cats. And especially, you know, Shop been there the longest. You know, like I could quote Jay-Z on this one, you know, and some of you Jay-Z fans will know where this came from. This is how I feel when they try to tell us something, Smitty. If you get it, I done it before. You get it, I had it. I got mad at it and I don't want it no more. Okay? Let me say that again. If you did it, I done it before. You get it, I had it. I got mad at it and I don't want it no more. So don't try to tell us something like we been did that. Y'all, we ain't new to this. We true to this. So you can't hit us with the, well, you know, maybe it's gonna be better next year. Nah, bro. Y'all need to chill with that. I'm speaking to everybody who be trying to combat us with that kind of conversation. Y'all, bro, you can't tell us that. And at the end of the day, hey, hopefully I'm wrong. Maybe you know something now and times are a-changing. I'd be happy about that. And say, oh, well, something did change and I wasn't privy to it. Wouldn't bother me. but looks like the same old song to me, man. So let's get Brett up in here, man. Go ahead, Smitty. I'm gonna add Brett and Smitty. Brett, once you come in, man, just right after Smitty is done, just jump right on in.
Yeah, man. I'll say this. I'll say this too. You know, the thing, like I was just looking at some of the comments here, and I mean, this is another part of it too. You have a decent amount of these esport guys that are supposed to be the face of your game, and they're frustrated with it. Like, I mean,
hey Smitty, hold on real quick. Let me ask you a question. How did you call? How did you call Nathan without me hearing it on my side? Because if I dial Brett, I think it's gonna ring and it's gonna cut you off. Like it'll ring like we're waiting for him to come on.
I just hit the button to add the caller. I mean, to add someone on. Like,
okay, yeah, let me try, because I know when I do that sometimes when I do my other show, it'll call him. So we'll see. All right, yeah, go ahead. My bad.
Yeah, no. Like, yeah, in the top, in the top right corner there where you got the little person icon.
Oh, there you go. I got it.
Yeah, there you go. Do that. Yep. So, but no, what I'm saying is you got problem, like what my man NY Kia, shout out to him. He said that, problem is messing with Fortnite right now. You know what I'm saying? And he may mess around and bounce and mess with that. You got W that's steadily been trying to mess with NBA 2K. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, you got these dudes, sponsorships, everything, and they're just like, oh, this madness is frustrating. Oh, this is annoying. Oh, this is that. Like, they shouldn't be feeling like that about your game. And these are people that hoisting championship belts and getting all kinds of money from y'all cats and everything else. You know what I'm saying? It's like, for real, this is jacked up. This is jacked up. He said I can hang with the top 100. I'm in the mix to win Super Bowls and online leagues, and I barely feel like playing. So that's crazy. And I mean, look. This is why I'll say this real quick, and then Brett can, come on, say his thing. What needs to happen with Madden? Y'all need to make football. EA Sports is in the game is y'all tagline.
Sounds simple enough to
y'all
me.
Need to make it. Yeah, y'all don't need to make a game for a tournament guy. Y'all need to make a game for a sim guy. Y'all need to make a game for a casual guy. Y'all need to make it for none of them. Nobody. You make it according to what you see on NFL Network. You make what you hear Deion Sanders and them cats talking about. You make that. That's what you make. The footage that y'all see, that's what y'all make. The footage that y'all got access to there, yeah, that's the game y'all make. Tournament guys and all that stuff want this absolution to happen, and then when you see these ridiculous plays happen, they be looking all awestruck, calling it, oh, this is such garbage. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it. But this is what your crowd wanted. Y'all wanted it. I mean, Zan could sit up there and say he's upset, but corral your people together. They're the ones that said they wanted this. They want that absolution. They want it to be like a Street Fighter and just have all this absolution. I mean, dude's running toward the sideline and he just chucked it. And I mean, it wasn't even a chuck because he threw a dart off of his back foot going out of bounds and just threw it off the back foot. Perfect dot to the middle of the end zone.
Oh, yeah.
Only the wide receiver jumped up, and the defender just stood there. 3 defenders around him stood there. And W could just sit there with a blank face. I'm like, this is the mode that y'all wanted, though. This is the stuff that, if that happened on the Madden stage, that would happen. And y'all be sitting up here looking extra salty trying to commentate off of that like, that's legit. If you looking stupid, that ain't football, dog. Yes, 2K got its problems. MLB The Show got its problems. NHL and FIFA do too. They ain't got it that dang on egregious.
Nah,
not even close to that. So y'all got to make a way better game. And people just look. People have to learn to deal with the restrictions. You got to deal with the hardships that the game presents, and just take the game for what it is. And that's literally it. Period. Point blank. If an executive wants to push back, pull up the NFL footage and showcase it and say, now you see how this works and you see how that is. Tell me what's wrong with that, since you said you got a problem with it. That seems to be too tough. Tell me how this is a problem. And then I'll go ahead and change it. I'll make an adjustment at that point. Not because, no, don't do that. Not because you feel a certain way, because this should not be happening in the game. And here's the valid reason why. If you don't have it, all right, have yourself a good day, sir, ma'am. Let me get back to doing my job, please. And create this football game, please.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? So, go ahead, Sim, man.
Nah, Brett, man. Let's bring Brett on in. Whatever you got
Brett,
for
go
us,
ahead,
brother.
Man.
What's going on, man? You guys can hear me good?
Oh,
yes,
yeah.
sir.
All right. Happy New Year to you guys. Hope you had a good holiday.
Yeah, same to you, man.
I don't know how to even follow up after with Smitty, man. Man, this is the best I've heard you in a while, man. Oh, goodness.
Smitty went in, bro. I just be quiet. I just sat back and, hey, do your thing. I was playing my game anyway.
Yeah, I got to be a playoff game. I got to do as soon as I get off of here myself. And in that crazy, it's a shame that we sit here, we criticize it so much, we steadily playing and got playoff games. But it's just a love for the game, man. But I think Smitty might have saw this. Somebody posted it on Twitter yesterday. And I had to put it on yesterday. And I put it on where, I don't know if you guys ever pay attention, about when you load up for your online franchise and it tells you how many people are playing franchise or that's logged in. And it said it was 6 million people that was logged in playing franchise. And so you multiply that. Did we lose Smitty?
Yeah, maybe for a minute. He might have stepped out for a second.
Okay. I put it down there, and I said like a hypothetical, okay? I should have rephrased it this way. Let's just say there was just one person per franchise. If you got 6 million people playing franchise mode, that's still a lot of people. If you double that, that's 12 million. If you triple that, it goes on and on and on. So you can't sit there and say there's not enough people, enough input for them not to sit there and put some type of input in this game mode. It makes no sense. You can't. I know where the money is at. Now I got another point to bring up with that in just a second, and I know where the money is going with that. But for example, with me working for the company before, I had a good friend of mine that just recently, this was in 2015, had his final interview with EA, with the Madden team at Tiburon. And they were asking him, this is going to be the interview to basically be introduced into being one of the new producers. They asked him, what was one of the features that you want to be put in the game? He said, you know what, one of the best features that I like, and I think you guys mentioned it earlier, was the vision cone. He said that was the most innovative idea in Madden. And they looked at him like he had leprosy. Like, you just said the wrong thing possible. We're not going in that direction. Our direction is about basically ultimate gameplay. The ultimate team. And this is in 2015. So this is a producer telling him that. And so that just tells you right there, it's just like, we are really, it's a lot deeper than what it is about who we're going up against, because it's all about that money, man. And so it's just frustrated that it has to be that way. It's frustrating it is that way, but that's what it's about. It's about that money for them. They don't, if you're still seeing 6 million people playing that game, they're not sitting there trying to outsell 2K, because they're still getting their numbers regardless. And that's sad. It's just like you're just happy for mediocrity. It kind of reminds me of the owner of the Clippers. You remember the guy that was forced to sell the team? He never tried to make a good team for the Clippers, because every year he made his dough. long as the bottom line is he was on the upside, he wasn't in the negative, he didn't care. And that's where they're at. That's where they're ending up at. And it's sad because it's like you said earlier, Sim, it's like we're frustrated with the game. And I put in like some of the old Maddens the other day. One of the worst ones was Madden 10. Oh my God, I don't know how I played that game. That game was so bad. I know it was the only football game back then, but that was such a horrible game. And then we look at all the other Maddens and stuff. It has improved, but it still has regressed. Like, you're sitting there saying, like, as crazy as it may sound, we are close, and we are close. I think that's the frustrating part about it because, like, to me, last year, what made me so frustrated about this year's Madden was last year's Madden, even though it had issues, but it was close. It was so close. Like, all they got to do is this little bit of tweaks, that little bit of tweaks, and and then this year, I had so much enthusiasm thinking it was going to be good, and it let us down. Dramatically, it let us down because it's like, I think the only good thing I could possibly say that was good this year was that quarterback option's not in the game, and the graphics was a little bit better. That's about it. Gameplay is horrible. The franchise mode is so shallow. And what you guys were talking about earlier about how the old PS2 games had a better more depth of the franchise mode. Yes, it did. It definitely did. But I don't want them to bring those old aspects of franchise mode in the game for eye candy. It needs to have an effect to the game. Because, like, case in point, how they brought back, you can choose your captain. But what effect does it do? It does nothing. When they had it before where you could choose your captain, it had an effect on how the other players played the game. It had an effect on how other players were frustrated that they didn't get the captain. It had an effect. Who cares about it now? That's eye candy. We don't want stuff just to be thrown in there to say, we got this in there, but it means nothing. No. It needs to have some substance involved with that. It needs to have some type of input in the game where, okay, we bring this in there, and when we bring this in here, it's going to do that, it's going to do this, it's going to do that. It's going to transcend the game. Don't just throw it in there because we're complaining about it. We are tired, man. It's frustrating. And it's like, what they don't really understand is this year has to be a make or break year for this year's game because there's too many people like us. And more people are complaining about this game than I've seen in a very long time. And if you don't make a game, considering that this was the 30th year that you made this game and it was that bad, if you don't come back and make some type of improvement, you will see a dramatic drop. I'm calling it out right now. You're going to see a dramatic drop. They're going to still get their money, but it won't be the same. You're going to see people stop playing this game in September and October instead of playing it until like this time now, next year. Because I just don't see the longevity that this game could possibly keep carrying on. And I know it has a history. I get that. But, hey, I'm a 30-year vet, just like a lot of people are, too, playing this game. And if it's going to run its course, it's going to run its course with me really soon, unless they do something drastically. But that's about what I got to say right now, fellas. I didn't, want to take all you guys' time. But, yeah, man, we're hopefully things can get better.
Yeah.
Oh, my bad. I had it on mute.
That's all right.
I had it on mute. No, I was basically saying, Smitty could hear me, but I was saying we got to get you back on as a panelist for a show, man. We can grab some topics and rock out. But
anytime.
Yeah, definitely. We're going to do that going forward. It's just sad, man, because the sad truth about it is, if we're being honest about it, man, and Smitty knows where I'm going with this, I just don't have the confidence that it will change because I don't know if the culture at Tiburon is going to be any different. And that's why I feel like, for me personally, and people are always going to blame us, y'all said that last year. Listen, it ain't about, I never say wait for next year as in an anticipation thing where I'm telling you guys to wait. I'm just telling you from my personal experience, 20 is the one for me because people have changed positions there. There are people that have returned back to Madden that had gone to NBA Live. You know, things are changing there. I don't even know who, at this moment, I have no idea who the lead director is. I have no idea. The creative director. So it's going to tell me a lot about whether or not they are going to focus more on franchise. And if they don't, it's going to tell me a lot. And, you know, if it wasn't for our league, man, and again, with me and Azure, and, you know, Smitty has played in the league, and if it wasn't for that league, man, I tell, or the mod now, the Nectar mod has gotten me back into my offline, but I don't have the desire to play the game, man, and I just don't know how much longer I could be a feedback piece in person when I don't feel like things are changing. You know, like contrary to what some people believe, yeah, it don't cost us any money, right? It don't cost us money to be game changers and go down and this and that. And, you know, we've gotten perks and, you know, we get the game free and a lot of times we get other EA games and, you know, we gone to events and they treat you like royalty when you're there. But at the end of the day, man, we taking time away from our families. You know what I'm saying? You know, here's Smitty now. He got another child. You know, that's another you know, person that you away from for that week, or a lot of times it's multiple weeks throughout the year. At the end of the day, I be telling my wife that all the time. Like right now, I feel like, man, look, I don't even know if I really feel like doing it no more if the game is not going in the direction that my feedback is offering.
Yeah, exactly.
What's the point? What's the point?
What's the point? Why waste my time?
I mean, I got it. We got relationship with the devs. I mean, I talk to A-Dub and cats like that all the time. So I don't even really necessarily need to be down to give direct feedback. So, and again, guys, it's not like I'm saying that we're not gonna do this. I'm always 3 steps ahead. I'm just preparing for the future in case that actually happens. I already told y'all, hey, I seen this coming a mile away, but we will see, man. We shall see. Now, let's talk some NBA action really quick, man, before we get out of here. We got about 16 minutes left. I'm going to just be real quick with mine, and then I'll let you and Smitty chop it up. I'm going to tell y'all right now, 2 things from what I took from that deal from 2K. For you guys that don't know, I have the link in the description if you want to read it. You know, shout outs to Operation Sports, Steve Noah over there. The article is on their website. That's where I pulled it from. And just to sum it up, the NBA and 2K, they have signed a multi-year deal, licensing deal of over $1 billion. It's said to be a 7-year extension. One of the biggest that we've seen in this particular genre as far as sports. And what it said to me initially was, all right, 2K, like I told y'all already, they done with football. they don't care. I ain't gonna say they don't care, but it's like, come on, man. They know where their money is at, and you make that type of commitment. Why jump into the arena with Madden? Even though we hate it, that's still a juggernaut in football because you got millions out there that's live and die by Madden. So 2K they don't even want to, you know, waste their time trying to build their game, not gameplay wise. But let's not act like if 2K dropped the game now, it wouldn't take them a few years, maybe a little longer, to compete with Madden monetarily. Because it's only us complaining. Let's be real. It ain't other people. Madden is a household name, and you ain't gonna just get them off it like that. So 2K look like whatever. We ain't really worrying about that. We're gonna sign this huge deal with the NBA. So that's the first thing I saw initially. I said, okay, they done. Second thing, you know who else is probably done? NBA Live.
Yeah.
NBA Live about to be NBA died.
Yeah. NBA dead. That's what it's gonna be.
Cause
NBA dead.
That's what we might be saying that next year. Oh man, NBA Live died, man.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. It's the truth, man. It's the truth. It is the truth. And you know why? That's the truth. It's no different than when they took over the NFL.
Yeah.
When they got the NFL license, it's the same thing. It's the same thing.
And Smitty said something very key earlier. It ain't exclusive. Think about how you got to be put, like, think about this. You know how much your chest got to be poking out when you willing to pay that much and your competitor can still make a game? That's the big thing I think people are missing. What they basically did is they raised up the ante. Because now, NBA going to say, okay, to EA, they paying this, so we going to have to charge y'all a little more.
Yep.
And EA going to have to make some decisions like, man, look, it ain't worth that. And we might be, Smitty and I said this years ago, we might very well be looking at in a year or two, one football game, one basketball game, one baseball game.
Mm-hmm.
And the funny thing is, the only one that all of us ain't happy with is the football game. So, what are y'all thoughts, man?
You gonna go ahead, Smith? Yeah, go ahead, man.
I mean, I'll just say this. Look, like what we was talking about earlier. Them having that deal, they just set that bar out there. Look, it's just like how EA did. Well, they didn't set the deal out there like that. Well, as far as we know, publicly. But 2K won't even make a hockey game anymore. 2K made, the last 2K they made was 2K11, NHL 2K11. And instead of making it for all the platforms, they only did it for Nintendo Wii. And that's it. And they just stopped. Basically, the series was not profitable for them, but it's been profitable for Electronic Arts. And they just kept on cranking it out, kept making it. So now when you look at Madden, I mean, it's not Madden, excuse me. When you look at NBA, and you look at considering NBA Elite was a complete wash, so they had to bite the bullet, all that money lost for that. You had 2 years basically with no game coming out. You still got to pay that money that goes to the NBA. You still paying that. You paid that with nothing coming out, and yet and still. You look at what they put out in 2013 in Live 14. You put that out. That's what you put out there. And then you got what NBA 2K came with. When Next Gen debuted. Man, nah, dog. 2K been hitting hard, extremely hard all that time. And like I said, them putting that 1.1 billion, I bet you that wasn't even the offer. They just, I bet you they just put that out. They just put it higher. They're like, you know what? This is like just like I said, like Jay-Z said in the past. He said, hey, take your name. What did he say? Stretch the game out, X your name out, put Jigga on top.
Oh yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like, that's exactly what they did. They probably was like 4-year deal. Nah, let's make it 7. All right, $500 million. Nah, we'll do 1.1. Put 2K on top. You know what I mean? Let's just do that. Hey, that's what them boys did, man. They stretched the game out. So it's like, yeah, you could get in there.
That's
you gonna move. Pay that? That's what I'm saying. Like, you gonna front that cash?
Woof.
Boy, I don't think EA can do it. Yes, but at the rate they're developing their game, it's not even worth it. It's really not worth it. You're losing more than your game. Like, goals for Electronic Arts with Live is low. You know what I'm saying? If they're not meeting sales goals like 4, 5, 6 million copies, they'd be like, if we get close to 500,000 and we get this kind of usage percentage, oh, we did great. That's A+. 2K up here like, we don't get at least 10 million copies out the gate, we fail. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're on a whole nother plateau. They're in a whole different stratosphere now. And that's the sad part about NBA Live. Like, I just play Live now, they put an update out well, let me see what they did at least. If I'm playing basketball, I'm playing 2K. If I'm really getting into it, I'm playing 2K at this point. I'm not even going front.
Playing it
I'm just
right
playing
now.
2K.
As we speak, I'm playing 2K right now.
Yeah, so I'm saying, like, I'm playing that because that's it. That's all I need. You know what I mean? And even with people being upset about the park, people not loving Pro-Am like that, people complain about microtransactions, it still has a good game of basketball I can purchase and consume and not be upset with like that for the entire year. I could play, if I wanted to just fully divulge and just say bump being a football fan altogether, I could play ball all year and I'm good. You see what I'm saying? That's what they're giving us. NBA Live, they had this dang on live at $10. Some cases $5 some years. It'd be $5.
You saw what DJ said. He said it ain't free yet. Oh man.
Oh man, that's messed up.
Oh DJ, that's terrible.
That's the point, man. That's where they're at. It's sad to laugh at, but at the same time, that's where the game is dang near at right now. That's where it's at, level wise. Come on, man. And it's supposed to be Electronic Arts. You got a game. How the heck you got a game like Anthem about to come out next month? And then you got NBA Live looking the way it looks, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Come
Anthem.
on.
Anthem might get my money.
Yeah, that's the thing.
I ain't got no hookups over there. I don't think I know anybody to throw me something from Anthem. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, come on, man. Like, you can't do that and then sit up here and act like, oh, well, we're strapped in terms of Madden. No, that's bull crap. I've said this before, and I'll let Brett go ahead. They just need to make it. They just need to put Madden like they're doing with Project Cars and Rainbow Six Siege and all that, and even Fortnite. Just do seasons. Make it a service. Just do seasons. Put out a season pass or whatever. Season pass for season 2, whatever. Do stuff like that. Just have your base game and then just build. Because that's how Ubisoft went from laughing stock to getting back on top, getting back on their stuff like a boss. Because they switched it up. They switched it up, made it a service instead of it just being games put out, and it's helping them tremendously. Fortnite, as much as that game's blown up, they do seasons, people are cool with it. Project Cars, games like that, like, you need to, that's a smart move. And that's what EA needs to do, stuff like that. Let these cats keep working on the game. Don't stop. Just keep it going. All this what we got at this point, but we're going to have more going forward. Bet. Do it. Then you get in, you get in where you fit in at. And that's it. Otherwise, this whole playing one installment and they got to wait basically a year because dudes want to tamper with it and mess with it and all that crap. No, they could have that. They could have that, especially for a game that's not up to snuff like Madden. You know what I'm saying? And especially if EA is going to continue with it, a game like NBA Live, that game exceptionally needs that kind of treatment. So, but I'll throw it to you. Go ahead, Brett. Go ahead, man.
Yeah, close us out.
All right, man. This is going to be a little bit. I'm going to get back to the NBA topic, but it was something that you mentioned about some other games. One of the games is the Battlefield 5, the Battlefield V, I should say.
Oh.
And, I think it's a good game. It looks good. It plays good. But this is what I have the problem with Battlefield. I don't know how many Battlefields you guys play, but one of my favorites was the Bad Company series.
Oh,
that was just like,
that got me into it.
That got me, exactly. And then, they came out with Battlefield 3, which is good. And Battlefield 4, I still play Battlefield 4 to this day. I still play it. And when they decided to go back and say, we're going to do the World War, well, what they have now, that's what they should have done with the World War I. One of the biggest reasons why they're struggling against the Call of Duties right now is because the World War II is just kind of played out. We want the what's in now type of gameplay, not what happened in World War II. It's just, yeah, it's great. I love the premises of that Battlefield, the whole, like, you shoot down the buildings, it comes down, and the vehicles. It is still one of my favorite shooters. But I'm still going back to Battlefield 4 because of that's what's in. And so when I'm saying that to say this, I'm wondering the guys with the best talent, the producers that have the guts to go out and challenge the big leagues, are they running thin at EA? Because it's like, it's not now, we're not just seeing the lack of creativity in Madden, we've seen it all over throughout EA, except for maybe FIFA in NHL. But it's like, when I was working for them, we had guys that pushed the envelope. When that term, it's in the game, it's in the game, it stuck and it was true to the game. It's not true no more. That's probably why they don't say it. Because it's not in the game. Because it's not in the game, so that's why they can't present this game. And, like, I know that everybody's saying that, Madden, one of the reasons what's wrong with Madden is because of the lack of competition, which is true. But just ask yourself this. Even though Live came out a couple of years, but it was 2 or 3 years that Live didn't come out and 2K came out, and it still was a great game. It wasn't no competition then, and they didn't stop them from making good games. So why is it stopping them for Madden to make good games? There's no more excuses, man. There's no more excuses. Yeah. I mean, I hope they really hear that. There's really no more excuses because the targeting fans that they're targeting, those are your temporary fans. Those are your fans where they're going to play the game for about a month and a half, they spend too much money, and get tired of it. They're going to get tired of the fact that they got to spend money, and they're going to get tired of the fact because the gameplay is so bad. You're not staying true to your game no more, man. And it's like, I mean, I'm getting so frustrated. I'm beginning to talk like I'm in the street right now because I'm so bad. And I don't want to have to go that, But it's like, come on, man. You're dealing with people that have been given so much time. This game affects relationships, y'all. And I know you guys know what I'm talking about. It affects relationships because it means that much to us. And you guys are letting us down. You're constantly, every year, letting us down. And hey, there's more than life than this. I can unplug this that quick. If you're not gonna give it the input, the same type of input I'm putting in there, why should I give you the same type of input? And I'm gonna leave it at that, man. Hope you guys have a good week, y'all. Appreciate you guys bringing me up on here, man. I always have a good time talking to y'all. My voice is a little hoarse because I went to see my Cowboys get beat this weekend.
Oh.
It was still fun, but just whatever you do, if you guys come to LA and you go to you got a Rams game, do not ever go to that stadium. It's the worst stadium in football.
Yeah, been around forever.
And forever. Like, I can't wait for the new stadium. That is the worst stadium in football. Oh my God. That was the only thing, but I had a good time though. It was good to see my boy.
All right, man. Well, we definitely appreciate you, man. We'll be getting you back on here soon, and definitely have a great night and great way to close it, man. It's right at 10 o'clock, so we'll go ahead and get out of here. But yeah, man, that's just our last sentiment, man. I'm tired of it. I'm really tired of it. I had a great time playing Red Dead a couple days ago, man. I was just sitting in the living room and. Yeah, oh man, just sitting in there, with my wife and my son running around. I got the headphones on. I'm just like that. That's how I'm supposed to feel about Madden. That's supposed to be the game because we all football heads. That's the game I'm supposed to be firing up all the time. It shouldn't be that I'm cool with just playing Madden on PC with the mod because the PC is down here in the basement. You know what I mean?
Not to cut you off, Sam. How is that, man? How's the game on PC, man?
To me, I got a video that'll probably come out here tomorrow showing another example. To me, what the mod is doing is bringing out the best of what Madden 19 can offer.
Okay.
You see more consistency. You see more. I mean, they said they've changed the formulas to where weight and things play more of a factor, and Smitty would probably agree. You can see it on the field. You see more gang tackling. You see the secondary playing more realistically. Guys are still going to make mistakes from time to time, but you can see what's actually happening on the field. I don't know if you feel this way, Smitty, or not. I don't really see the level of warps that you see on the console.
No.
The warps are toned down.
As much.
Passing is different. They've changed a lot of the trajectories and the sensitivity. It plays a much better brand of football than it does on the console. But again, I will caution people and say it's still Madden. It's not like,
right.
Because I've seen people comment and say it's still the same. Yeah, of course it is. They're not, they can't change the code. But
right.
Everybody I've known that's played on it, because I think Nathan spoke on it earlier tonight when he was on, it's just a different experience.
Yeah,
it's a different experience. It feels much better than it does on the console. But that's just our opinion. I mean, I'm sure people will get on there and say they don't like it.
The simplest way to put it is it's Madden. It's Madden at launch, but they emphasis on the good things. Okay, it's just took up even higher. In that regard. So it doesn't alleviate every problem. Like, you still gonna have the Madden problems, just not as much. Just not as much because of what they did. So it's not nearly as egregious as it would be on console. That's the difference.
Okay.
So it still is a good game, but you're still gonna see all Madden, you see some of the all Madden hijinks happen, but just not nearly as much now. Like I don't know if Sim did it, but I played games on all Madden default based on the mod, and I had clean games.
Okay.
Like, straight up clean games. And this is with them having title updates, all that jazz. You put that mod on there, and it definitely helped. Like, I don't see a bunch of foolery happening like how you would typically see happen.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. All right, fellas, man. Good talking to you guys, man. And hopefully we talking in the next couple more weeks, man.
Yes, sir. All right, man. Take care, brother.
All right, man. All right, now.
All right, Brett.
All right, guys. That's going to do it for us, man. We'll be back, assuming we'll be back next week, unless, life calls.
Right.
If it does, y'all just monitor Twitter. Anytime you don't see us, man, it's a reason. But again, we're going to emphasize, give us some topics. Please try to give us some topics. I mean, I think Smitty and I do a good job with trying to, find things every week. And every time we think the show is not going to go a long time, it does. So I guess, we were able to talk well around these topics. But we want to hear more from you guys, discuss more of you guys' thoughts, because this is a community show and we want to involve the community. But outside of that, man, hope everybody has a great weekend. If you are a Chiefs fan, please, please, please cheer. Let's get them Patriots out of here, man. And I'm not hating. Listen, I'm not hating on the Patriots. It's not my bias because, they close to having 6 championships. I'm just tired of seeing the same old, man. That's it with me. I'm tired of it. And some people probably would say I'm lying. But I promise you, man, if the Steelers went to the Super Bowl 9 straight years, I'd get tired of that. I'm telling you, I'd just be like, like, I would be happy because it's my squad, but I'd be like, I like to see different things, like the NBA. I don't want to see the Warriors again. I don't want to see the Warriors in the championship again. I want to see some of these other young teams, man. Keep an eye on them. Maybe me and Smitty will do a little NBA talk next week. There's some young teams out there, man, that they might be a problem in the next couple years. I love what I'm seeing developing under the Warriors, because the Warriors are still the team you got to think about, even though they don't look that great this year. They have their moments, but you know what I mean. I don't want to see the Warriors again in the playoffs. In the championship game. I don't want to see that in the finals. It's just like I don't want to see the Patriots again. I would love to see the Saints and the Chiefs, or Saints Rams. That won't happen. Rams and the Chiefs, I meant. That'd be great too, like Smitty said. A repeat of that game as a Super Bowl, I'd be glued to my seat.
Yeah.
And I like Mahomes, man, because I have a soft spot for him, man, because some of you guys know the story. You know, with me doing the Steelers, you know, the terrible towel thing, you know, I'm always looking at players, and I had my eye on Mahomes because I knew the Steelers would go after a quarterback when they drafted Joshua Dobbs. And I'm thinking, okay, you know, Mahomes is grading out as a third-round talent. I was like, we might have a chance. Watched a lot of his film, watched some of his games, and I knew he was a little bit raw, but his arm talent really stuck out. And I was like, yo, this dude's deep ball was like crazy. And look at Andy Reid. They saw something in the kid, drafted him in the first round, was quick to say, okay, we're going, you know, we ain't gonna renew Alex Smith. We're gonna ship him off, and bam, look at him now. And that dude is phenomenal, man. I mean, of course, he still has some things to learn, but just he is the epitome of, I just like watching every time he got the ball in his hand. I don't know what he might do or what throw he might make. So I would love to see that team in the Super Bowl. And like I said, I like Andy Reid. I respect Andy Reid as a coach. He never got a ring. It'd be dope to see them get a chip, man, before he retires or whatever. But that's all I got. Little side rant. Anything else you want to throw out there, Smitty, before we close up?
No, other than just, you know, of course, like always, I appreciate everybody. Also, shout it out real quick. Doug Thomas, appreciate the $10 donation as well. Yeah. Shout out to him. But no, appreciate all of y'all coming through, hanging out with us on the episode here on the podcast, breaking bread with us. And like Sim said, send us topics. There's stuff that you see, whether it's on OS, something you see on YouTube, or something you're just thinking about. You want us to either talk about, bring to the light, or you want to come on too and shed light on it. By all means, come on through. Let us know something, and we'll gladly do it. All right? But that's pretty much it. That's all I got. Otherwise, hey, God bless all of you guys. Appreciate you guys, and we will definitely holler at y'all on next week.
Yep. Catch y'all later. I got to go to bed because, again, for you guys that are new to the channel, I commute into my office one day a week, and that happens to be Friday, so I have to get up super early. DJ is in here. DJ would know exactly what my commute is like because DJ lives in Maryland. I think at one time DJ was living in Columbia. So DJ, you know what's up with that. I'm coming from York to DC, so you already know what type of craziness that is with that DC traffic and all of that. And even though I don't drive all the way into DC, I go to Baltimore, hop on the train, and blah blah blah. But yeah, DJ know what time it is, so that's why I be having to rush off of here, man, on Thursday nights. But all right, man, y'all be safe out there. I know we got snow coming here on the East Coast, so everybody be safe. Watch some football. Hope your team wins, and yeah, we'll see you guys next week. All right, and oh, real quick, I want you guys to, maybe not in this chat because I'm about to close it out, but take a poll on Twitter. Maybe I'll post it at some point. Y'all let me know whether or not y'all prefer us to be back on camera. I've been getting that feedback, Smitty. And I told you guys why we went off camera, because it kind of gives us the freedom, you know, to, you know, y'all can't really see what's going on. We have, sometimes, you know, we're going to have interruptions with kids and, you know, our children or our wives or whatever. And it's easier when we're not on camera where we don't miss a beat. So I might take a poll and see how y'all feel about that. And I'll be honest, even if y'all favorite, we still might decide to keep it this way. But I'll be interested to see what you guys got to say about that. But all right, I'm really gone this time, man. Catch y'all later. Y'all be good. God bless. Peace.
Peace.